I'm excited this morning because I have two wonderful nonprofit organizations with me this morning. I have Halo House and Unite and Inspire on Chai Time. And we are going to learn how both organizations serve the community and how collaborating together helps everyone to grow. So without further ado, let's welcome Executive Vice President and co-founder Kathleen Fowler, Executive Director Tanya Ramos of Halo House, and my dear friend who needs no introduction, founder and CEO Rajni of Unite and Inspire. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are y'all doing this morning?
Great.
Wonderful, thank you.
That's good. Rajni, how are you?
Great.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
It has, yes.
And a lot has happened.
You're right.
Great.
And the last time you were co-hosting with me.
Oh, yes. That's about, again, a very important issue that what we were
Yes.
touching upon today. Yeah.
Yes. And then summer came and kids are back to school
Back
now.
to school,
Everything
yes.
is getting back to normal.
Yes.
That's good. So, Rajni, you have come on the show many times. And we have talked about Unite and Inspire a lot.
Right.
But there are a lot of our new listeners now as well. So let's begin with that. A little about your organization, Unite and Inspire.
Sure. Just like the name goes, we unite the children and youth and adults to come together, inspire each other and also their friends in the community, how to give back to the community that they're living in.
Correct.
And also to bring that awareness to one and all about being a constructive element in their community. So that tomorrow they step out of this and then they go to a different city or like this week everybody is like back to school, back to colleges and all that. And when they
Yes.
step into the college, they're young adults and we want them to step in as a responsible young adult who knows what to do, how to do, and for whom they should do and how they can help each other, and that kind of a positive outlook about life.
Yes.
This is what Unite does to the youth who step in
Yes.
as a child or as a young adult or as an adult. And we've been doing this ever since the inception in the 2018, and we started off with just about say 60 or 70 volunteers, and now like we are 300 plus, and coming from previously it was only like Katy and Sugarland, but now we are Katy, Sugarland, Pearland, Houston, and right now in this point of time we have volunteers like from outside of Texas too who are willing to join us and be part of this mission, because only for the beauty of this mission, like how it makes them evolve.
Correct.
And be a compassionate individual.
Yes, and we had the opportunity to actually speak to a lot of the young adults, the youths that came
Right.
on the radio show and talked about, how it has affected their lives personally and how well they have, kind of serving the community, but at the same time, that fulfillment that they get.
Correct.
Yes.
And today I'm glad to say that if you had seen only like a few of them, like maybe in a single digit number, that today there are like many more in double digits, like who are stepping into the colleges and wanting to start UNDI chapters there and continue to do what they've been doing in UNDI. And the most important thing is that they're stepping into this phase of their life with a thorough understanding about what it is to collaborate, to begin with their peers and then with the fellow nonprofits or others who are doing clubs like this, and then how they can do it together. So that's why today I think we have an apt topic that what we have about talking about the power of collaboration.
Yes. And speaking of that, I'd like to let our listeners know that we, the Chai Time Girls, had actually had the opportunity to serve at the Halo House,
That's
to
right.
make the meal. And it was such a experience that I can't even put into words. When we were preparing the meal with our kids were involved in that.
Right.
As young as 4 or 5 year old, we made pasta and we made garlic bread. But it's just that when we were doing this, we just had this different kind of a happy feeling.
Correct.
But when we went there and we met with the families, we met with cancer patients, that was a whole different
Educational curve.
Yes,
Okay. So
it
that's what I
was.
say, like because we are collaborating at different levels and for different things. And when we shared about Halo House and they were immediate to come, so that's the power of that. Like when we shared with each other and when they came, now the understanding what they would get from their experiences and could be entirely different from what we are, and that could probably sprout to a different new set of things.
Yes.
So, but
Yeah, definitely. So I'd like to begin with first, talking to Kathleen. She's the co-founder. And Kathleen, I'd like to, and our listeners definitely would like to know how your journey started and how you came about forming Halo House Foundation.
It's an interesting story. This was back in 2009, so about almost 13 years now. Mm-hmm. And I was retiring, I thought. And my son is a doctor at MD Anderson, a lymphoma specialist. And we were just sitting around his living room one night with his wife. And he was talking about one of his patients from Florida, 26-year-old fellow mechanic who was up here for treatment. And in general, we provide housing for cancer patients who don't live in Houston. And in general, the people that do come here to our med center only come because they can't get treatment at home. Or they get treatment at home, like Florida, and it doesn't work. And when they hear this is your last Christmas, then it's a big thing to leave home and move here for months. And it's crazy expensive. So this fellow was talking to my son in the hall one day at Anderson, and he just looked so sad. And Dr. Fowler said to him, what's wrong, Derek? What's wrong? And he said, I'm not afraid to die, because you never know he didn't know if he was going to make it. Mm-hmm. He said, but I'm going to leave my wife and my 2 little children so deeply in debt from living here. They had medical insurance, but the cost of living here for months, they lost their home in Florida. The kids are staying with grandma. And he said, that's what hurts. And at that point, we thought, we could do housing. It seemed like a simple thing, but we could do housing. And then the more we got into it, we raised enough money to rent 2 little apartments, furnished them with whatever we could find. And then it's grown into having our own building with 33 apartments.
Kathleen, great things start small.
You never know.
Yes.
You just never know, and it's amazing. When people come to Halo House and they walk in the door, what we hear mostly is that they feel loved and they feel the peacefulness there. And maybe you felt it when you guys were there.
Yes.
And people like Unite and Inspire, and you too, bringing food in, it may seem simple, but it touches them. To them, it's love. You're bringing love. You're bringing food, too, and everybody likes food. So it's kind of something that crosses the barrier.
Correct.
Yes.
And
food with love.
Yes.
Yes. And they were so thankful. I know this couple that we met who he kept thanking us and saying, thank you for this meal. This meal means so much to us. And it was just... we were so teary-eyed with that, and we are like, it's just a meal. We are not doing anything, like y'all are going through all of this hardship. And so, and even like people, even for them to come out and talk to us, we are strangers to them, but to come out and talk to us and tell us about what they are going through, or like their journey, their stories. I mean, that is so.
It's such an important thing to know for our children and youth. Like when sometimes like they waste the food at home and then they don't even pay attention to like how much of warmth and affection the parents are sharing with them, and then how they are taken care of when they go there, and when they receive the same thing from them. It touches it's not just about us touching the cancer patient families and them, but in turn, with this activity what we are doing there, it is also like giving such valuable lessons to our children and youth too.
Absolutely. And that's something they can do. Like you said, your daughter helped make garlic bread and pasta, and it's a wonderful way for them to become involved without being scared or intimidated.
Correct.
And again, everybody loves food.
Yes.
So it's a way.
Yes.
So I like what one of the gentlemen said, that it's not, when I was just saying that this was done by a 8-year-old or 11-year-old, they're like, we just simply love the fact that somebody has done this for us.
Yes.
So
and somebody to listen to.
Yes, definitely.
It's a lonely life here. leaving your family and
Correct.
your pets and your dogs and your cats and coming here and,
Yeah.
you know,
Exactly. And you
So-
don't know for how long you got to
Right,
be here, too. You
right.
don't know how long the treatment's going to take
Right.
or
Right.
anything else. Sometimes it gets extended. So there's so many uncertainties with that.
right.
So, but the place itself was just, it's so inviting, so warm. It's not, there's no just bare walls, and it's nothing like that. And you can actually sit there and, even the kids, our kids were able to go there. And there were so many things that they could play with.
Play with,
Keep themselves entertained. So Tanya, share with us your journey, and how about you, how you came about joining Halo House.
Sure, no problem. Actually, my journey is kind of interesting. I actually was on a sabbatical
Okay.
after my father died. He actually had brain cancer, the worst kind, actually, the glioblastoma. And after his death, I just re-examined my life. I said, what really am I doing? Because I was a former healthcare executive, an RN, critical care nurse, and I said, I have worked with cancer patients, helping them get through difficult times with their family, and then now I was on the other end of it, caring for my father who lost his battle with cancer. So I said, you know what, I will just take this time to just kind of reevaluate, give back to the community in any way that I can, because I've been helped so much at a difficult time. And I found Halo House through Volunteer Houston, actually.
Okay.
And just like you described, when you walked into the facility, when I came there for my first day of volunteering, I walked in and I just kept thinking to myself, oh my God, why have I not heard about Halo House? Because their mission there is just, it's filled with passion, and they have this desire to help cancer patients, blood cancer patients specifically, through their journey, which is a very difficult one that I have experienced firsthand as a healthcare provider and as a daughter of someone who suffered severely with cancer. But walking into Halo House and interacting with the residents there, it was just unbelievable. And it just touched me so deeply that I said, I have to give back. I want to be here at Halo House to help out in any way that I can, because I understand both sides of the spectrum in dealing with cancer. And I've been there ever since. When I am there, I feel like I'm doing meaningful work. I interact with the families, whether they're coming there for the first time or they've been there for months. But there's just this connection that we have, and that I understand you, I see you, I feel you, and how can we help make this journey easier for you? And that's what Halo House does. It makes the journey for cancer patients so much more easier. Because as Kathleen described, they are dealing with so many things in terms of finances, paying for their care, trying to figure out where to stay when they're here, and coming to Halo House and walking through those doors and seeing that they have a very welcoming place. It's calm, it's peaceful, it's inviting, and they all have their own individual apartments. They're not like in a hotel setting, or they're in some facilities that house cancer patients. They're actually in a facility where there's multiple rooms. They don't have their own separate rooms, but at Halo House you have your own separate apartment, washers, dryers, in your own environment. And they feel like they're at home. So for them, it's a home away from home.
Yeah.
And being able to help them in that journey has just been remarkable. And then partnering with other organizations like Unite to Inspire, Be the Match, and other facilities that come into Halo House and give back to our residents, it just makes that journey so complete for everyone. Because there's a give and take. The cancer patients are sharing their story, and then we're giving them love, care, and compassion, and they appreciate every second of it. So I enjoy being at Halo House probably as much as our residents.
Yeah.
They love it there, and they're coming from all over the world.
Yes.
Yes.
Not just here in Houston. In fact, a lot of them are not even from Houston, because you have to be a 50-mile radius away from the facility. But the unique thing about Halo House, we are minutes away from the medical center. And a lot of our patients that are being treated there for blood cancer, they have to be close. So if there's any type of reaction with their treatment, they're minutes away. But the good thing for them, when they go to the hospital, they get their treatments, they can come back into an atmosphere that feels like home. And it's very welcoming and very gentle and kind on their soul. So with that, I think Halo House, if you don't know about Halo House, go to our website.
Yes.
Please just take a look, click around on our website, halohousefoundation.org. and just look at what we do. And I even invite people to come out. I'm not sure where your listening audience is around Houston, but if you're ever in Houston, come pay us a visit. And you'll get to see what it feels like the moment you walk through the doors at Halo House. You feel it. It's almost like a godsend. At least that's what our patients tell us. So I'm just
I think just
excited to
like
be
the name goes, Halo House. Like,
Yes.
there is a halo around it. Come and check out what that halo is.
Yes,
You know?
yes. And I'd
Yes.
like to add, even when we were there, even y'all have taken into consideration how to serve the meals. So you have all the dishes, you have you have the glass plates, you have everything. There's nothing just foil pans or anything. So you make it feel like they are, it is like
Yes,
how families
homemade.
get together at home eating, and this is how we eat at home.
Yes.
So that even the little things you'll have kept in mind of kind of put yourself in their position and to see. So
Absolutely.
that's amazing.
There is so much of positivity around.
Thank
like
you.
when you see that, like
Yeah.
even the
Yes.
artworks that what
Yes.
the art, the wall decors, like art paintings, the
Yes.
ones.
Yes.
Like how they have chosen the colors and the art pieces, and I'm sure Kathleen has a long story about it. Like, but then, but all those things contribute a lot towards, what you see is what you would feel.
Yes.
Right. So when you see these things around, when you meet people like us, then the day is only getting brighter. The day is getting only like happier. I mean, they're going through a
Yes.
lot already, but
Correct.
why not bring a smile just for a few seconds? If not.
And that really was our goal in designing the architecture and the layout of the rooms and the colors and the art and the furniture, is for it to be happy and not look like a hotel and not
Correct.
look like a hospital, but just make you take a deep breath and feel good when you walk in.
Yeah, I like what Tanya said, that she entered the Halo House as
Yes.
a volunteer, and then she now became a important integral part of Halo House, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
similarly, like when our volunteers stepped in to be part of this activity, it makes them think, oh, how can I be a little more helpful to Halo House? What can I do? Like
Right.
when they saw these artworks, they came back asking us, can we also do some artworks that we
Yeah.
can
Really?
give to Halo House? Because they wanted their works to be there so
Right.
that it can bring some happiness to the residents,
Right.
So that's the kind of thoughts that get provoked in their minds.
Right.
Yes.
And, so only when they see, until unless they step into places like Halo House, they will not really know that this is something what is happening in the world.
Exactly.
Right.
This is how somebody can get helped.
Right.
Yeah.
And then their
Yeah.
impact is actually meaningful.
Yes.
It
Yes.
transforms lives, even very small things, like you mentioned, meals.
Right.
Yes.
It's a small thing, but it's a very big thing for them because it unites them and it
Yeah.
brings them together.
Together.
as a
Right.
family.
All right, so
Meaningful.
let's go on a short break. Sorry. I'm getting the cue from Olivia out there. So we'll go on a short break, and when we return, we will continue our conversation. This is Chai Time on 99.5 FM.
That's awesome.
Welcome back to Chai Time on 99.5 FM. For those who are just tuned in, we are in conversation with co-founder Kathleen Fowler, executive director Tanya Ramos of Halo House, and Rajni of Unite and Inspire, CEO. So let's continue with our conversation.
Sure.
We were talking about, Halo House, the foundation, as well as we covered on Unite and Inspire. What I would like our listener, I would like to ask you, Rajni, is how did you collaborate with Halo House? How did that start?
Sure. So Gayatri Kapoor of Be The Match, who is our very dear friend,
Okay.
and who has been the strong support for our works in the medical and public healthcare field of works, what we offer to our volunteers, with whom we have been doing different works like conducting the booth or donor registries, or like even doing the behind the scenes work with them, and also some internships with them. So in the similar lines, like when we were discussing about what further we can do, she suggested me, why don't you come and check out Halo House, because we do the community gardening every first and third Saturdays. We do community gardening, the produce from which it goes to the homeless shelters, the pantry for homeless shelter. So because she is aware about all the works what UNI does, and she is aware that we do the community gardening and all. So she suggested that I come and take a tour about this facility and to know about the different works what the Hallow House does. And actually, I came to Hallow House to check out the garden, but then when I stepped in and when I so thanks to Gayatri Kapoor that we both met. And when we came to see the garden, I felt that I just casually asked Kathleen, what is this for? The place like where they come and have their lunch and dinners. So then she explained about it, and then I thought, why not come here like to spend time with them, like we cook and we serve, or we cook and spend time. Like the homemade food, because they're coming from different, like they said, some could be from Florida, some could be from North Carolina, some could be like from California or any part of this USA. And I do know for the fact that there was a family who came from Mumbai. And they were here for a few months.
Okay.
So home cooked food is something that I felt that will make them one more inch closer to being home. Being at home, So I thought, why not this activity? And then I proposed that, and she liked the idea. And then we started brainstorming about what are the kinds of things. And thanks to my team, my wonderful team, Harsha, Unnati, and Srividya, Deepshika. There's many of them who are brainstorming behind to come up with menu and then make it more tastier, and then also a different kinds of menus, cuisines, and all that came in a flow.
Yes.
But that's one meeting what we had with Kathleen turned into a beautiful collaboration.
And we're so grateful for you and your team. They're awesome. I think you've even brought entertainment in one time.
Yes, one time. Yes, entertainment
I
too.
mean, they can come and sing or play music, anything. We're open to, with other volunteers as well, to anything that, if people have an idea how they'd like to help, we'd love to hear it.
Anything that makes the residents smile.
Smile, exactly.
Bingo games,
Correct.
Anything.
Wow, that's beautiful.
So that's how the journey into this collaboration happened.
Okay.
Yes.
And so how long have you all been working together, both the organizations?
I think since August 2021.
Okay. All right.
Oh, we are in August.
Yes,
Exactly. Didn't realize didn't
I
realize
know,
1
right?
year passed by.
So thank you, Rajani, with Unite and Inspire. We appreciate everything you guys do. It's been awesome.
Thank you. But the true credit goes to my team, who are working hard behind the scenes.
Right.
And they always say it makes the team. It's the team that makes the dream work.
Right,
So,
right.
absolutely.
Right. But it's so wonderful to see organizations collaborate together because there's so much work to be done in our community in serving people and seeing, sometimes you can't do everything on your own. One organization can only do so much.
Correct.
But when you collaborate, you partner together, it's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
So,
Like how Unite and Inspire is collaborating with nonprofits, many nonprofits, as you know, we work in the community, which is for children and seniors, underserved children and seniors, and then special need kids or that community,
Correct.
and medical and public health needs of the community. In these fields, we collaborate with different nonprofits. Similarly, they collaborate with different nonprofits too. Just like how we are coming for first Saturday of every month. I'm sure you have different groups and organizations who are coming into Hallow House and bringing different aspect of it.
We do. In fact, when we started, I don't know if it was 2011 or 2012, but we applied for grants for funding. And one organization said that they didn't want to fund a single organization. They wanted a solution to the whole problem of housing. So what we did, we started an organization with other Houston providers of housing, and they're different. Ronald McDonald House is for kids, and Fisher House is for veterans, and Norris Home is for organ transplants, but all housing. And we would meet and just talk about issues and problems, and what do you do for this, and who do you call for that. And it's a small organization, but when you talk about collaboration, it's just been so helpful.
Correct.
Yeah, to be
Yeah.
able to
Correct.
reach across the aisles and
Right.
help each other solve problems.
Right.
And like you mentioned, you can do so much by yourself, but when you collaborate, oh wow, so many other doors open
Yes.
up. And you
Yeah.
can solve so many problems across the organizations that are trying to do the same thing for a different group of people with the same issues. So it's
Yeah.
just amazing. Collaboration is just
Just your
absolute
collaboration with Be the Match brought you and I into your into the
Right.
net, you know.
Yeah.
So
Right.
Yeah.
it's like that.
Yeah, and speaking of collaboration, I mean, we are talking about nonprofit organizations, but even then, like you and I,
Correct.
like literally collaborating too,
Collaborating,
you know, with the
yes.
media involved.
Correct.
And even corporations getting
Mhm.
involved, that makes such a huge difference.
It does.
We are all aiming for the same thing, and we are all doing it together now.
Correct.
Right.
So that our goal is, you know, is reachable. It's faster.
Correct.
We can reach it much faster than before. So that's
Exactly.
it's wonderful.
And
Yeah.
I think what we're doing now is equally important because it's not just us collaborating now. Now we're getting our whole communities involved.
Yes.
Right.
And that is a community collaboration. So anybody that wants to partner with us and volunteer, you're helping. So
Yeah.
that's a huge collaboration, and I just hope people are able to see it that way. So it's not just the children coming into the organization or organizations partnering with the organization, other organizations or nonprofits, but it's the community.
Community coming.
coming
Yes.
together as well and partnering with us.
Yeah. And so, how has it helped the organization grow through this collaboration? Let's start off with you, Regina.
Okay. Firstly, like, you know, our focus in UNDA is always about how we bring awareness
Okay.
about what is existing in the community, what nonprofits do we have, and what are they doing, and what causes are they addressing, and how are they addressing. This kind of an education and awareness is what we want to bring into our UNDA families, right?
Okay.
But when they came to know about that, and when they knew that this is what like we are going to do at Hallow House, they shared that with their incorporations, like their office, their employers rather, and they started like supporting what we are doing and what we need at our end to get this going. Towards that, like they gave their support. And today, like if we need any technology support into like doing any behind the scenes work, it helps, and their support helps. And at the same time, like if say some of the times like we are short of volunteers, because it's all about like the menu that what we have, and are we experts in cooking that or not. And when we have partners like you came in and said that how about we do for 1 month, like we take it up, and you came and you saw, and you know that kind of a support, like how we are grooming by collaborating like this. And besides giving this kind of an education awareness to our own families, we are also letting our other partners know about it.
Exactly.
So, like say, different fields, Be the Match is something that what you're aware of and they are aware of you. But someone like, other nonprofits, like say, our other partners who were not aware of what Hallow House is, they came to know about it. And then they are spreading their information. I wouldn't even know that they have shared with someone, but that information, how it is being shared.
Right.
So that is something that what is bringing visibility.
Right.
So the ultimate, the perk of it is the visibility that what we can bring about each other, and how we can bring that awareness about each other's works. So tomorrow, like if somebody is coming to know about Hallow House, they're also looking at what UNDI does too, like because we are exhibiting information about each other on both of our websites and sharing that information in a way that it's a collective thing, it's a collective work, how we are doing together. And so that visibility, that understanding and awareness, how we are spreading to one and all across the community, that has grown multifold. And it's bringing like a different the kind of a potential in their skill sets, something that they have not realized for themselves. We are digging it out and then bringing it to their own understanding.
Right.
And that partnership with Unite to Inspire is bringing individuals into our organizations that had never been there before.
Correct.
And so, like she said, they're spreading that word. It's like, have y'all heard of Hallow House? Let's go there and volunteer. And we're getting calls and people wanting to come in and do exactly what they're doing. Like, how can we help? They're providing meals. What else do y'all need? We'd love to help you. So we're growing just by the awareness of Unite to Inspire and other organizations partnering with us. It's been amazing, actually.
And for us, like I said, we're small. We've always been small. And until 2014, we were all volunteer. And then we hired one person, and we had one person for several years. So volunteers are our lifeblood.
Correct.
You know, we couldn't function without our volunteers. So we're incredibly grateful.
So just that one Facebook posting what we do, tagging Hello House, when we do this,
Yes.
there was several people like not just in Houston, but outside Houston and outside Texas also started wondering, do we have something like this here in Massachusetts? Do we have something? Because, people watch our posts and they
Right.
read about that.
Yeah.
Right.
And they call me and ask me, like, how can I contribute to this? And we do have some, like when we did the Giving Tuesday fundraiser, because we are in need of some funding, like where some of the items that if we need, or even the transportation or anything that we incur the cost, right? So we wanted to raise funds towards this activity. And when we clearly mentioned how this activity goes and, posted some pictures, there were some from outside Texas who donated to this cause.
Oh, wow.
And they started wondering, like, if they have anything like Hello House in their own city that they can let out their folks know. So, see, that grows like, it's like a ripple effect.
Yes.
You do one and, it spreads across.
Yes.
Right.
That's so true. So, Rajni, how has this collaboration fallen well into your vision?
Pretty much in the same, in the lines that what we are set out, like
Yeah.
bringing that awareness again.
Yes.
And bringing that side, that compassionate side of, like, because somebody wants to become a doctor or pursue something in the career in medicine, without knowing like how to be a compassionate healthcare professional, they cannot be really like someone who is touching their lives. They could probably treat them, but touching their life comes only by that compassionate approach. And it is not enough to know to research about cancer or write the papers or being part of that. But if you are interacting with the individuals who are going through that, and how you can make a difference by a gentle word, by that care, and by the simple things like cooking a meal, or like
Right.
bringing their pets, and you have other
Yes.
group like who does that, right? So these kinds of things, like when they get to know about that, tomorrow we are making this youth a responsible one. That's our mission, to make them as a responsible global citizens. And our values are compassion, empathy, care, and teamwork and respect. These are our values. So by involving our youth into this kind of work, is we are achieving our vision, and we are achieving our mission, and we are making our youth who are, it could be only once or twice that they are part of this, but that once or twice is enough to touch them first, to understand what it is for the patients who are stepping into the hospital to receive this, and what it is for them to receive a kind word.
Yes.
What it is for them to have somebody who can pat on their shoulder and say,
Right.
"You're going to be fine."
And sometimes it's just listening, having somebody to listen to you and hear you, and
Correct.
actually hear you. And that's so comforting.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the mental health so
No, I'm just saying a simple act of kindness and compassion goes a long way.
right. Like in the beginning of the show, you mentioned about the mental health awareness, the
Right.
event,
Yes.
like what here. All these contribute to that.
Yes.
They already are in tremendous stress,
Yes.
and the tremendous stress about life, and what's next, and all that. We have no idea what's running in their minds. We
Yes.
have no idea what's running in their families. But as youngsters, as children, and as families, it's not just about the youth, but the parents too.
Yes.
When they step in, they are coming along with the parents, and it's impacting all of them, not just the youth, but them too. And so they are now, the impact of it is, today we have parents who are coming with different ideas. How about this dish? Or how about this one? This is good for them.
Yeah.
This is good for
Yes,
and
right.
they
Whole families involved now.
exactly. And
Yeah.
so and that itself is something that we are very happy to see. In this 1 year of journey, there were so many instances where they came that we never knew that we had something like this here in Houston. We never knew that these are the things that are important for them. We never knew that these are the things, these are the do's and these are the don'ts. This is the
Right.
kind of education what we want to give them. And tomorrow, if they are choosing to become doctors, I'm sure they're touching the lives of many.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we greatly appreciate what you're doing with the youth. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean,
Likewise,
yeah, definitely.
what you're doing to the families.
Like even for us, the our Chai Time team itself, when the first time we did this, and when we went there, and after we served and talked to the patients, the families, when we stepped out, we were like, this is not a one-time thing. This we
Good.
want to do it
Good.
over
Exactly.
and over and over again. And I own a restaurant too, and I told Rajni, I said, Arlings would like to get involved as well. Just because we are a restaurant does not mean, we cook meals and we can always adjust to the spices or anything, but we would also like to do this. We would also like to serve them. And we would like to take our Arlings team, Chai Time team, all in there together and work together.
So welcome.
That'd be wonderful.
Yes, we'd love to have you.
I
at Halo
just
House.
approached her for support because many of our families are vegetarians, or like they do not know, or even if they are non-vegetarian, they do not know how to cook some non-veg dishes. So when I approached her like for meat dish and all, she just said that it's on me, forget about it. Like, you just let me know when it is. That's a collaboration, power of collaboration again.
Yes, you're so welcome. And a lot of our
And,
residents, they would love that variety in food. It just brings them joy.
Yes.
So
So-
absolutely, please.
So when I'm talking about awareness, there
Yes,
you go.
There it is. What better collaboration is that?
Right, yeah. And it gives us such joy and a lot of fulfillment because we have provided this platform for many nonprofit organizations. We wanted them to be here to spread the awareness, and we together want to be the voices out there for our
Correct.
community, to let people know what the nonprofits are doing, how hard they work, and everything. So, and for us to go beyond that and go, not just a radio station and not just talking about it, but being hands-on, that is a whole different experience for us.
Exactly. Like if we were
Yeah.
just sitting and talking about it, probably you would have gotten the essence of it only like 60% or
Yes,
70%.
yes.
Right.
But you're there and you have seen it and
Felt it.
with the
Yes.
teary-eyed the experience like what you had. Today, like what we are talking, you can relate to it.
Definitely.
Right.
I can, yes, for sure.
So
And-
like you said, the hands-on is what like we want to bring.
Right.
By bringing that visibility, by making this awareness, reach people not just in Houston but across, by posting about it gladly that this is what we have done.
Yes.
You step out and you do that in your own communities too. So then they think about how can I collaborate?
Exactly.
Yes.
What can we do? Like there were other nonprofits in other states like who asked me that, hey, I saw that you guys do this. Can you suggest something here in this state? Do you know of anything, or do they have their branch?
Right.
Then I said that, well, I'm proud that Hello House is in Houston,
Yeah.
but I certainly would like to see that Hello House has many houses across
Yes.
the state, across the.
And they can actually go onto the website if they can't physically be here in Houston. If they're from all over the country, they can just simply go to our website. They can donate. If they can't be there physically to help,
Yes.
their dollars will actually help our residents in more ways than one. So
Good.
you don't have to be present. If you could be, that's wonderful. We gladly have them there.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of ways to help out at Halo House.
Yes. And so do you all have any events coming up soon?
We do actually. You wanna
We have our
Yeah.
12th annual gala. So it's a
Yes.
charity
Awesome.
gala with a Hawaiian theme, which is
Ooh.
actually Mahalo Fest. And Mahalo means gratitude. So it's our festival of gratitude. And we only have one fundraiser a year, and this is it.
Yes.
And it'll be on November 12th
Exciting.
in downtown Houston.
Yes.
Exciting.
Wow.
And all the information's on our website.
Okay, so
Awesome.
anyone.
So there
And
you go.
it'll
Like
be a
if they want
fun
to help,
time.
then that's one way. Like where
Yes.
Yes.
any part of the world they can help. And our volunteers are getting ready with an art fundraiser. Like they want to
Okay.
showcase their arts and raise funds,
Yes.
so it can support our activities, like what the community service that what the youth is doing. The funds that we raise is going back into that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
That's wonderful. So before we wrap up, ladies, any message to convey to our listeners?
We always need volunteers,
Okay.
and funding. And we'd love to have people visit our website,
Yes.
halohousefoundation.org.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you for listening.
I would say, go ahead after
No, I
you.
was actually going to second what she said, but The volunteers, just come by. Just take a look at Halo House. We don't have to actually sell Halo House to you. You can go to the website and visit, but why don't you just come out and just visit with us, and you'll see exactly what we're talking about the second you walk through the doors.
Correct.
So thank you for listening, and thank you for letting us be a part of your listening community.
I would say think about the other person before you think about yourself.
Yes.
Step out. It's you and I who are living in this world. So think it's not just you who is living in this world, right? There's someone else who is living in this world. Think about them. Step out, go volunteer, and get the
Yes.
experience and change your world, change the world of others.
Yes.
Yes.
And thank you for sharing your time with us today
Yes.
and inviting us to be here.
Absolutely, it's you and I. It's a collaboration.
Yes.
It's a power of collaboration. All of us are in it.
She's actually
But
living her mission, so we appreciate that.
Yes. At first, thanks to my very dear friend Lynn to invite us as guests,
Thank you
and
so
giving
much,
this
Lynn.
opportunity to share with the world like what we do and how someone can do and how they can make their life and others' life better.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And so, if our listeners do want to be part of like preparing a meal or something like that, can they get in touch with you
Sure.
and I?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
So our website is uniteandinspire.org.
Okay.
And if they would like to be our volunteer, they can go register themselves and see all the things that what we do and be part of these activities that is not just helping the community, but in turn it can help their own career as well. You know how
absolutely.
it's a win-win thing. Like, so because they're children, they're youth, and they are making their life. So we want to make it like a win-win situation. But at the same time, we want them to understand what we do out in the community and go and volunteer at places like Halo House and be part of it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, ladies, for taking the time out this morning to join us here on Chai Time and to talk about the wonderful work that you all are doing in serving the community. We truly, truly appreciate each one of you.
Thank you, Lynn.
Thank you.
you.
It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
Thank you.